Like it. Oh, it looks like we're only on. I don't know why we've been having so many problems with going onto Facebook recently. I don't know why, but I'm not even on. It's not even on my page, and it's only 4 seconds that comes up there. So it's very annoying that this has happened. It comes on for 4 seconds, and that's about it. I don't know if that's what happened here at the Temple Emanuel's, but we'll have to see. Let's see. I'll put some sound on here. Let's see. I'll put some sound on. Okay. So I think this is happening. All right. Welcome to our Wednesday meditation. Hello, Kathy, in Oklahoma. We are looking at Shoftim in the book of Deuteronomy. Shoftim has to do with judges, has to do with being non-biased. And I wanted to talk today about a very famous line that happens in this Torah portion. The line is Tzedek, Tzedek Tirdof. Justice, justice shall you pursue. There's a lot of interpretations of this. There are a lot of ways in which we think about justice, justice shall you pursue. And that word tzedek is a very interesting word, right? It could mean justice, could be righteousness. And indeed, a lot of the commentaries talk about, it says that has two justices there, tzedek, tzedek tirdof, for many different reasons. Sometimes people would say that first tzedek means that with justice, your justice shall pursue. In other words, that justice you're talking about needs also to be just. And that has to do a lot with the bias of judges. I was reading a couple of interpretations about this idea that a judge is supposed to be, completely non-biased, and is supposed to be completely non-judgmental, and is supposed to judge the rich and the poor alike and not care who the person is that's in front of them, but they should be seeking justice. But what becomes difficult about that, especially when it comes to judges, and we see this in the American justice system, that if a judge is more conservative, they're going to judge on a more conservative side. If they are more progressive or liberal, they're going to judge on a more progressive or liberal side. And one might say that just by judging literally as a judge that way, that indeed that is biased, because you have some kind of bias that that is part of your judging, is part of the words that come out of your mouth. So right there, when you think about any judge, any person that's in any kind of position of power, that they are still influenced by the people that are around them and their own thoughts and ideas. So in some ways, it's literally impossible to be completely unbiased when judging something, because you take your life experience and you take your work experience and you take every experience that you've had and you think about that when making any kind of judgment. But justice, to pursue what is right, although it is also biased, that if one pursues what they believe is to be righteous, to be just, then we would hope that that would enable the world to be a better place, because each person is acting in a just way. Again, though, I hear myself say it, and I keep bumping up against the wall that says, but what one person thinks is just, another person doesn't. I mean, you just have to take the example of abortion in this country, right? The people that are pro-life, they believe that they're acting with justice. The people that are pro-choice, they believe they're acting with justice. So in both cases, there is justice going on, which does beg that question of when there's tzedek, right? Tzedek, tzedek tirdof. Justice, justice shall you pursue. In your pursuit of justice, it must be just. Now, does that call into question that there is a just way to answer or to live? Again, it does seem like that comes down to the point of view of the person that's making the decisions or making the actions or pursuing. But one has to imagine that that there are some actions that we do as human beings that all of us would understand is the right way. Now, I know that that's not true, but I have to try to convince myself that there are certain instances where the justice that I'm talking about is the same justice that you're talking about. And although it makes it very, very difficult, the only thing that we can do, the only way that we can act to fulfill tzedek, tzedek tirdof, is to be comfortable in the just point of view that we're taking in a particular subject, with the caveat that says, convince me otherwise, right? If there's a good argument that comes and shows me that my point of view in a particular instance is not just, and you can prove that to me, I would hope that I can recognize what is just or not just in the world. But I think it's a really elusive concept. I mean, for the four of us that are here together, do each of us think of justice in the same way? Do each of us think about righteousness in the same way? Would we say that the same action is righteous? Right? I mean, both of us could look at something and say that person's doing wrong, and the other person says, well, I don't see anything wrong with that. So there is a disconnect, I think, between all people and a general understanding of what justice is, because we all know that different societies come up with different definitions of what it means to be righteous or what it means to be just. I mean, another example, if you go to go to Saudi Arabia, women can't walk around unless they are covered. Now, that is just there. A woman should not be in public with her skin showing. If you come to America, that is not one of the comments that a general, I guess there would be certain Americans that still believe that. But, I mean, there's people walking around with short sleeves and shorts, and they're not covering their faces or covering their hair. And they exist in this society, and nobody would question whether they are being just or not. That's just one example of how in different societies that idea of justice is different. I guess what we would say is the justice and the justness that we're talking about is within Judaism and within Jewish values. But even Jewish values, depending on what denomination that you're a part of or where you live, or there's a lot of different aspects of life that go into whether a person thinks someone is acting righteously or not. So, what I think started off as a pretty simple Devar Torah or little teaching, for me, really, I have a lot of ambivalence about this line. And that what I can reflect upon in my meditation or at times when I'm quiet is that I can only hope, and dare I say pray, that that which I feel is just is along the lines of what a just society should be, and that that the justice that I have in my heart is just. And that, to me, in many ways, is what those two justices are. One of them is justice in my heart, and the other is justice in the world. And can those things align? Can we bring both of them to the forefront? Or if this justice, if I don't feel, if my personal justice doesn't match up with what society says, if I feel that it is just and I'm not hurting anybody and it is something that I feel I need to pursue, I have the right to do that in this free country, whether society likes it or not. And the example we could use is the head covering, right? If I was an Orthodox Jew, I would have the married women in my family wear a shadel, right? Because that's what our tradition does, and that is the just way to live according to traditional Judaism. So in that particular way, there are some sects within Judaism that would say it's okay not to keep your head uncovered, and there's others that would say you can't do that. So we can only hope that the just, righteous actions that we feel are in our heart can at least align with where we live and the people we're around and what we do in our lives. And hopefully, if we're all pursuing a kind of justice that we think we can rely upon, then the world would end up being a better place in the end. Okay, enough of me. Let's get quiet. We're just going to breathe. We're going to take time to be still. We're going to take time, instead of doing, to just be. We do so much of the time. Let's just be. I may have to end a couple minutes early today, but we'll get in our 15 minutes. Let's get into a comfortable position. There's my opening yawn. So just feel whatever you need. If you need to take a deep breath, take the deep breath. If you need to just feel your breathing, do that. Feel your body, how it expands and contracts with each breath. And just be. We're not trying to solve anything. We're just allowing everything to be as it is for now. As we head into our last couple of minutes together, we end with a request of two feelings, since it's Wednesday. We ask, may I feel luminous? May I feel luminous, shining, bright, feel light in both ways, glowing, shiny, knowledgeable. May I feel luminous. May I feel loved. May I feel as if there is a care for me. May I feel loved. May I feel luminous. May I feel loved. May I feel loved. May I feel luminous. May I feel loved. May I feel luminous. May I feel luminous. May I feel loved. With each breath, you can offer that to yourself. May I feel luminous. May I feel loved. If you'd like to offer it to somebody else, you can put this person right in your mind's eye, standing right in front of you, sitting right in front of you, looking right at you. May you feel luminous. May you feel loved. May you feel luminous. And may you feel loved. May you feel luminous and loved. May you feel luminous. May you feel loved. Let's bring it back. I invite you to offer it to yourself with several breaths. May I feel luminous. May I feel loved. May I feel luminous. May I feel loved. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope that you were able to find some stillness and peace. May you feel luminous, and may you feel loved, and may you have a wonderful